Welcome to Epochs Across Eras, where we explore the rise and fall of ancient civilizations. Today, we enter the Warring States period, an age of steel and ambition that changed China forever. From 475 to 221 BCE, 7 powerful states, Qi, Chu, Yan, Han, Zhao, Wei, and Qin, battled for supremacy. These wars were not just about land, they were about ideas, power, and survival. It was a time when generals studied strategy like scripture, when kings reformed laws and armies, and when philosophy shaped the sword. Out of this chaos would emerge a new force, one state that would conquer all and birth an empire. Join us as we trace the battles, reforms, and ruthless ambition that defined the Warring States and forged the future of China. China was divided, and everyone wanted the throne. After centuries of decline, the Zhou king had become powerless. In his place, warlords rose. 7 great states emerged, each with its own strengths and its own ambition. Armies clashed, capitals burned, alliances shifted like sand. But war wasn't the only weapon. Strategy, philosophy, and reform transformed the battlefield. The Warring States period wasn't just an age of violence, it was the crucible of empire. In this episode, we uncover how endless war gave rise to something lasting, the dream of unifying China. The spring and autumn period had already weakened Zhou authority. By 475 BCE, with the Zhou king reduced to a figurehead, 7 major powers dominated China: Qi, Chu, Yan, Han, Zhao, Wei, and Qin. What made the Warring States period different was the intensity of warfare. These weren't short campaigns, they were total wars. Armies grew to hundreds of thousands. Iron weapons replaced bronze, fortifications multiplied, siege warfare and cavalry tactics evolved rapidly, but the battlefield wasn't the only front. States competed in reforms, centralizing administration, taxing agriculture, training professional armies. Some embraced legalism, others Confucianism, or a blend of both. Rulers no longer relied on noble families. They appointed officials based on merit. War was no longer personal, it was institutional. Diplomacy, bribery, espionage, and even philosophical warfare became tools of the state. Loyalty to the Zhou was gone. The new goal? Dominate all under heaven. The result was nearly 250 years of shifting alliances, epic battles, and brutal betrayals. Yet within this chaos, China evolved, from feudal kingdom to bureaucratic state. What was once many kingdoms was slowly preparing to become one. Each of the 7 major states brought unique strengths and ambitions to the conflict. Qi on the eastern coast was wealthy and influential in philosophy, home to Jixia Academy. Chu, to the south, was vast in territory and rich in culture, blending native and Zhou traditions. Yan in the northeast was more isolated, acting as a buffer to nomadic threats. Han, centrally located, was small but strategically vital. Zhao in the north excelled in cavalry and border defense. Wei, innovative and militaristic, had once been dominant but declined over time. And Qin, in the far west, began as an outsider, but would soon change history. These states didn't just fight, they transformed. They centralized governance, broke aristocratic privilege, and restructured society. Thinkers like Han Feizi shaped Qin policy. Scholars debated in Qi courts. Mohists served rulers as engineers and advisors. Military innovation exploded. Crossbows became mass-produced. Sun Tzu's art of war was studied and applied. The Battle of Changping in 260 BCE saw over 400,000 Zhao soldiers surrender to Qin, then executed. It was a brutal turning point. Qin, led by rulers like King Zhaoxiang and King Zheng, modernized faster than the rest. With legalism as its backbone, it turned into a war machine. By the late 3rd century BCE, Qin was no longer just surviving, it was winning. While others faltered, Qin thrived. Its early legalist reforms, championed by Shang Yang, created a powerful, centralized state. Nobles lost land, soldiers earned status through merit. Peasants were given incentives to farm and fight. Unlike other states, Qin didn't fear change, it enforced it. It built roads for armies, canals for transport, and strict laws for order. This discipline paid off. One by one, the rival states fell. Qin absorbed Han in 230 BCE, then Zhao, Wei, Yan, Chu, and finally Qi by 221 BCE. In less than a decade, China was unified for the first time in history. The victor, King Zheng, declared himself Qin Shi Huangdi, the first emperor. The warring states were no more. But this wasn't just a military victory. It was the culmination of 2 centuries of transformation. The endless wars had forced innovation. States had evolved into modern bureaucracies, led by merit, not birth. Philosophies like Confucianism, Taoism, and legalism had been tested in real governance. The Warring States period was brutal, but it built the bones of empire. It ended an age of kings and began an age of emperors. The dream of unity, born in battle, had finally become reality. The Warring States period was China's darkest age and its most defining. From the ashes of Zhou power, new ideas, systems, and heroes emerged. War forced reform, chaos bred creativity, and in the crucible of conflict, China evolved from scattered kingdoms to a unified empire. Though millions perished, the structure that arose endured for centuries. The age of kings was over. The age of the emperor had begun. And though peace returned, the lessons of this era, about power, unity, and vision, still echo in the heart of Chinese civilization. Thank you for watching Epochs Across Eras. If you enjoyed this journey through history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Let's keep exploring the past to uncover the stories that shaped our world. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep exploring the epochs that define us all.